Hello everybody, welcome back. We're gonna jump right into our Aurora 4X C# campaign here. It's been a day or two, a couple of days since we streamed last, and I have not played at all in this campaign since I left you guys. So let's get caught up. I don't expect everybody's been watching everything, so just in case you come upon this video first, let's give you a brief overview. So this is what the known galaxy looks like so far. We have the Sol system here. We've got the eastern part of the galaxy out through the Tokyo system. Right now we have a small colony in the Lima system, Lima 3, because it's got some nice mineral deposits and it's kind of colonizable, maybe terraformable. We've got the northern branch of the galaxy going through the Georgetown system. Now in Georgetown, we've already got a colony that's been completely terraformed. And there are 11 million people living there. And we picked this colony because it wasn't too hard to terraform, and also it had a lot of corundium and duranium. We've also started in this system a second colony, and we started it here because there's some nice thorium deposits. So there's no gas giant in Georgetown, but this will make this system pretty self-reliant. It'll have its own thorium source and everything. And we've started terraforming this place, but it's going to take a while. Down in the western edge, through the Yaren system, we have El Ayun, where we have a colony, which we are terraforming. It's really hot, so we're trying to cool things down. Again, nice mineral deposits, which is why we chose this colony. And very recently, we discovered aliens in the Endjamena system. Endjamena. So we've discovered aliens. They live on this planet, I think. And they blew up our ship. So at first I was like, oh good, aliens, we can finally test diplomacy. Nope, they just blew up our ship. So, so we gotta make a bit of a hard pivot towards military. Now, in terms of our military, we this was a TN start, and it is currently the year we started in 25. It's 41, so we've only been going for about 15, 16 years. In terms of technology, we have ion drives, but most of our military techs and stuff is below the 5,000 tech range. We're using lasers. Let me show you the design. So we've got not this button, this button. We've got the Polaris frigate, which has just been refit to use ion engines. But this is just a small vessel that carries one spinal laser cannon. And it has been adapted. We had to refit the original version. We've had the original ones in service for quite a while, so many of them are quite well trained. It has some impressive speed, and it can operate for about 2.5 years before needing some serious maintenance. And then we have designed 2 battle cruisers to accompany it. Well, actually, we've only designed one. I lied. The Betelgeuse, or Beetlejuice. I don't know what the technically correct pronunciation of that is. This battle cruiser is sort of an escort battle cruiser, and it has an armament of 4 quad laser PD turrets linked to 2 beam fire controls, and we also have 24 size 1 missile launchers with 2 independent missile fire controls. And we have, these are obviously firing size 1 anti-missile missiles. So this is sort of an escort battlecruiser intended to try to deal with, try to have handle PD duties. And then in addition, we are about to design a sort of leader jump battlecruiser to move all these ships around and to provide long-range sensors. But we're still waiting on some tech. We need to wrap up the actual jump drive itself, so that should actually be ready pretty soon, in February, and it's currently December. But there are a few more components that we're missing that we'll need to research, but we'll start building that one right away. So in service, we actually only have a bunch of the original Polaris frigates, which we're now refitting. But we are building some Beetlejuice battle cruisers, and in fact, I might as well add another slipway because we're going to want to increase the number of these battle cruisers significantly. And that's what's going on. And in fact, there were so many things going on that I made some notes here. So let me just go back, and we wrote this up at the end of the last stream. So we're refitting the Polaris. We're building more good. We're designing this. We talked about this. Later, I wanted to make a missile destroying cruiser. I wanted to implement an STO with the quad laser. Yeah, we're working on setting that up. Cargo ship, civilian, collier, troop transport, okay. All right, good. See, it's a good thing I wrote all this down because there's so many things to keep track of in this game sometimes. All right, let's bring up the events. Yes, and I had accidentally refit my only troop transport into a tanker. That is truly unfortunate. All right, do we have anything left to repair here? How about to refit? Yep, let's do that. Okay. Let's move forward in time. Colony fleet has completed orders. Friend Fred says, did I miss some alien violence? No, not really. We just met the aliens at the end of the last session, and I haven't played since then. They did blow up my ship, so I guess that's violence. But we didn't commit violence upon them. They acted violently towards us. Okay, what's going on with this fleet here? The ships here are all upgraded to Ion class, so maybe I was going to change where we were sending people, I think. And to me, it seems like what we want to do is Earth refuel, Mars load colonists, and I think we need to get people to Elion. This is our priority right now. We need to build up our presence in the system. And I think that's it. Cycle these moves. Okay. Doc Eve says, couldn't you use auto refit for the Polaris and Aldebarans? Yes, I have been. Well, okay, so I'm pretty sure that's what I did with the Polaris. The Aldebaran, the thing is, there's only a couple of them that come in every once in a while, as they were, and in fact, they're almost all refit now. But they only come in one or two at a time, and I need to repair them sometimes because they were broken before I can refit them. So it was easier to just, like I had some that were kind of critically broken and I had to repair them. So I wanted to make sure I had the slipway available to do that as soon as they came back home. So what it wouldn't have helped much to do auto refit for the Aldebrands, but for the Polaris, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing. If we're not doing auto refit, then I should have used auto refit for the Polaris for sure. Okay, the JCS North Star 1 has completed work in El Ayun. Oh no, it is in the Singapore system. So we stabilized this branch here. Let's go beyond and stabilize to Manila. Like so. And then, okay, terraforming is happening on El Ayun, but it's still very hot. And then low fuel, our tug. We have a tug here that's, I think, coming back. Oh, you know what? I think these guys are not set to auto, so we should have these guys do refuel on fleet. Refuel on fleet. And I think, well, I hope we have some basic underway replenishment tech, but we might not. We don't. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to pause probably the tugs here. Let's just pause their mission for just like 1 5-day increment. Yeah, see, they reloaded pretty quick. In fact, we'll pause another 5-day increment, let them fully refuel. And then, oh, the colony ships were already full of people. Well, are you going to do it? Okay, they are going to do it. Okay. All right, now tugs. Yeah, there we go. Fully refueled. Okay, so you guys were going to here. Can you show if a jump point is stabilized on the galaxy map? Yes, if the line connecting the systems is orange, then it has been stabilized. But if it is green, it has not yet been stabilized. That's how you can tell at a quick glance. Okay, the Aldebaran 6 has been refit, but it might still need some maintenance. Yeah, it needs a bit of an overhaul still. Oh no, I don't want to close. Speaking of which, I don't know when was the last time I saved this game, so let's do that. Okay, the Aldebaran 2 is in the Majuro system, and it is telling me it can't do any more geosurvey. Is this a new ship, or is this still the old design? Oh, this is still the old design. You need to go home. You need to get refit. Nothing has broken yet on that ship. Actually, and let's take a look. So this was out here in the Majuro system. It looks like we surveyed pretty much everything There might be a couple of like asteroid or comets that we didn't quite get to. Corundium, Corbomite, Tritanium. Okay, there's a good gas giant here, if anything else. Sodium boronide. And a comet. I mean, look, there's a nice gas giant, if anything. And, you know, this could be terraformed. It's not a, I mean, there's no water, and it's a decent-sized planet, so it'd take a while to terraform, but it'd be doable. This planet here might be easier to terraform. It has, once we warm it up, the ice fields will melt. Even though it's a bigger planet, we don't have to add as much water. This might actually be an easier planet to terraform. Doesn't have great mineral deposits, but we could colonize the system eventually. Something to keep in mind for the future. Okay, we have a tanker who honestly was doing something and is now back at Earth, and I have no idea what they were doing, so welcome back. Were we planning on refitting them? I guess these shipyard slipways are full, so I guess not. I don't know. I don't know what the plan was, so we'll just kind of relax there. Okay. All right, a few things. Well, speak of the devil, a slipway has opened up here. Let's see if we have anything left to refit. This is our tanker class, the Kappas. That's what they were doing. We were sending that ship back to get refit. So let's get that started. Okay. Research has been completed on my big jump drive. So we're going to have to go design that ship in a moment. But before I do that, we're running out of fuel here in the Yaren system. Must be cargo west. I must have not refueled them before leaving. Like, I must have set the orders up wrong, which is unfortunate. Do we have a tanker here? We do. Okay, let's take a look in the system itself, in the Yaren system. All right, here's my tanker. Here are the cargo ships. Now, the cargo ships move at 5090. The tanker does not. So let's at least do this. We'll have the tanker trail them, and he might meet them on the way back. I think they'll have enough fuel to at least do that leg of the journey. And we'll see if we can make that happen. Okay, let's get to work on this design here. So we're going to design a new ship. The Alpha Crucis. Let's pick a Antares class. I like that better. Okay, Antares class. This is going to be a jump battlecruiser. And its defining characteristic is going to be this big old jump drive. Now, of course, we're going to need engines and all that. Engines, E. Okay, we're going to need a lot of armor. We haven't invented shields yet, so that's not going to be a thing. I think we'll have some amount of point defense capability. Oh no, we need a 24, I think, for 2. Yeah. Okay. And of course, we need a ton of engineering spaces. That jump drive takes a lot of maintenance. We're going to need fuel storage to get us up to the sort of 15 billion range. Okay, and now what I want to fit on here is a big old sensor. So this tells me roughly that I have about 2,000 tons to play with. So what kind of sensor can we get for 2,000 tons? So my default resolution for just finding ships is about 10,000 tons. And then for 2,000 tons, roughly speaking, this is what I could do. This is actually much longer range than I was thinking. So we could actually, maybe we don't need a 2,000 ton sensor. I'm going to dial it down to this much. It's nice to see ships, but I don't need to see them that far out. Because I do want to add, other things like a flag bridge, things like that. Let's go with a 1,000 ton sensor. Let's create this. And let's research it. Now, other things I want to put on this vessel include how much a flag bridge is 250, auxiliary control. Let's do auxiliary control and a flag bridge because that's kind of what this ship is designed to do. And then I wanted a small missile sensor to work with my PD because I don't need the big long-range missile sensor, which is running on the escort battlecruiser, but we do need something. Okay, and let's wait for that research to finish. Now we have some spare labs. So what is our next research priority? We're good on engine techs for now. I was thinking, I wanted to start thinking about a missile cruiser, but we kind of have what we need in terms of tech for that. You know, just because it just occurred to me a moment ago, we needed this. So let's research that. But we should start the design and thinking about our missile cruiser, so I will think about that. Oh, thank you. What about the deployment time? Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's not a lot of space. It'll be tight. We can sacrifice maybe a layer of armor or something like that. But I think we roughly have what we need on that design. Okay. Good news and bad news. So we have just built 2 of our mega tugs. Unfortunately, they have drained all of our fuel reserves. But this is bad because it means we didn't have any fuel reserves. What is our fuel situation? I did not expect this to be an issue. Detailed fuel report. So where is our fuel? Okay, I have some fuel in these tankers. Specifically this tanker here. Alright guys, we are not doing great on fuel. How are we doing on sorium? We have a decent stockpile. It's not amazing. Part of the reason we're struggling with fuel is because we had very little sorium in the Sol system. In fact, we had no good gas giants. We do have sorium on Callisto, which is why we set up a colony there. Saturn was pretty garbage. Yeah, that's it. In fact, we deployed Iota Pegasi 1 and 2. Okay, yeah, they're on the way to the gas giant in Elayun. Okay, so fuel is going to be an issue. Alright, how are we going to deal with this? So first things first. Okay, we're building a naval shipyard complex. I wanted to build these other commercial shipyards, but we do need to get our fuel production back up. Let's queue up another fuel harvesting base. Build this after the naval shipyard. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a fleet out of this. Actually, hang on. Let's close, make some room here. We're going to rename this fleet Big. We are also going to take tankers. That's where all my fuel is. So tankers are going to join with the big tugs, join and refuel target fleet. Let's do that right now. Also, by the way, we're going to queue up more of these big tugs. Okay, now big tugs. You know, let's wait. I think I don't need to send the tankers with these. We'll just let them refuel. I think we're mostly there. 80%. Okay, one more time interval. Meanwhile, in Georgetown, we're also running low on fuel. Is it this cargo fleet? Yeah. They were going to refuel on Earth. What are their orders? What are these guys even doing? Oh, they're moving that spaceport. Is that done yet? Nope, only halfway moved. Okay, well, honestly, that's not like a huge priority right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to have these guys just chill at Georgetown for now. Cargo West, meanwhile, it's just unloading infrastructure. So you can pause once you get to El Ayun. Okay, we're pausing all of these movements of these civilian ships that are not doing critical tasks until we resolve the fuel situation. Okay, our big tugs are fueled. Yep. Oh, what did I just click and how did that happen? I wish there was an undo. That was weird. We just like absorbed. What did I just click? Okay, that's really weird. There's some weird like UI thing that happened there. It's not so much what I clicked, but like where did I drop the mouse cursor? Whatever. Okay, you need to go to Yaren. And then stop, and then after that, we're gonna catch up with the little tugs, and the big tugs are gonna take over. Okay, big tugs finished their run. Now you guys are gonna go to these guys. They're already there. God, they're so much faster. Alright, let's go to the Yaren system. Okay, so tugs, you guys are going to remove these orders. What you're going to do is you're going to go to big tugs. You're going to release tractor chips. Then you're going to go back to Earth. Then Big Tugs. Can you... No, you can't like tug from your own fleet. Okay, so we have to detach these guys. Then Big Tugs can go to them. Tractor. And then move on and release the tractor chips there. Okay. All right, the Singapore one has completed its orders, and it is in... sorry, the Aldebaran one has completed its orders, and it... What was it doing? Oh, I think we just have it as a picket to make sure we see any aliens coming through. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, let's just have it move, but not transit through, and just kind of stay there. All right, guys, a bit of a logistics mess here. Let's take a quick look at our terraforming situation on Luna in particular. Okay, we're bringing the temperature down. Or bringing the temperature up, I should say. Hello, Albion Gamer says, hi, second and fellow Aurora fans. Hello to you. All right, we finished refitting some freighters. And I think we had auto-queued some more refits, but let's see if we have any more that we can refit. No, we're done in terms of freighter refits. So I'm actually going to queue up a few more colony ships. Also, we got a new naval shipyard. Now, this shipyard is probably going to be for some kind of missile cruiser. So let's, which is, let's say, going to be roughly 10,000 tons. So let's aim for that. Meanwhile, our industry is going to get another fuel harvesting base out, which we desperately need now. So we've got about 1.5 years for that to be built. So we'll be eagerly expecting The colony ships are low on fuel. In the short term, I could also build up more fuel refineries, and we can kind of dig through this stockpile a bit faster. It's not a bad idea because I want the fuel refineries for the Georgetown system later anyways. But I can't delay these other commercial shipyards because I need them for important logistics operations. But let's do that. The Aldebaran 6 has completed its overhaul. And it looks like it's ready to go. So where do we need to send a survey ship next? In terms of pure distance from Seoul, it looks like we're pretty even in terms, we're roughly in 15 billion kilometers away in most directions. So why don't we head out here to Ankara with the Aldebaran 6. So spotting, Joachim Tobiasen, FFD elements are supposed to be for directing your orbital bombardments, like your fighter bombardment elements, your orbital weapons that you hope to have target, or your own artillery bombardment elements. But if you have like ground infantry or tanks or whatever, then they don't need spotting. We just added a slipway somewhere. Here. Yep. We're gonna start adding some new survey ships here to keep pushing the boundaries of known space. Oh no. Something broke on the Aldebaran 2. Now it is heading home, but is at the end of its journey. Some crew quarters broke, but they should be okay to make it home. Their engines are still working fine. So for now, things are still okay for that crew. Okay, we finished that sensor module. That's supposed to go on the Antares class. Nice. So I think what we have to do here is make it maybe 5 armor. And add a bit more engineering. And a bit more fuel. Oh, we should put some small passive sensors on this. At least a small passive thermal. Okay. So this is it. The jump battlecruiser that will lead our navies. Let's start building these guys because we don't have one yet. It's going to take 2.5 years to build, so we got to get started soon. Oh, we forgot to assign labs. Okay, yes, of course. Okay, so given our current fuel shortage, it makes sense maybe to research this, but to tell you the truth, yeah, no, let's divert away from our planned research to give ourselves a small boost of fuel production. All right, we have refit some Polaris ships, and in fact they were on auto refit because they're continuing to refit other ones, so that is good. Okay, Aldebaran 7. As I pour myself some more coffee. Aldebaran 7 has completed its geological survey of the Taipei system. It's doing fine on maintenance. Let's take a look here. So this system is down here. Oh. Okay, let's take a closer look. Ah, yes, I remember this system. So this system, we're never going to survey more than this because this asteroid belt is ridiculous. It's like 50 billion kilometers out from the inner system. Not worth surveying. So, although, okay, so there is a Lagrange point here. We could use it to warp out to this farther planet here. But then from this farther planet, its Lagrange point to the planet itself is still like, see, this is 118 billion. So this is like another 300 billion. This is a ridiculously large system. However, let's see what we found in the system itself. Terrestrial with duranium. But, you know, we could make a colony out of this. And then a bit of sorium, high accessibility though. This is interesting. Mercassium. Could kind of be terraformed. There's some ice in the crust. All right, then we got some moons here. Not easy to live on because of the low gravity, but nice deposits of neutronium and corbamite. Duranium. A gas giant with not terrible accessibility. I mean, look, this isn't a terrible system. It could definitely be a sort of smallish, self-sustaining operation out there. And this is sort of a dead end on this branch. So now we're going to head out to Banjul and keep working from there. So let's go through Lima and go through to Banjul. I need to close a bunch of windows because it's taking a while to process these turns because it's updating all the windows in 15 copies in duplicate, which it does not need to do. All right, we had some orders completed. Oh, big tugs. See, those big tugs are so much faster. They're so much better. In my next campaigns, I have to prioritize that, or just make big tugs from the beginning, because the little tugs are really not worth it. Okay, so we now have, in the orbit of El Ayun 1, which is a nice gas giant, 2 fuel harvesting bases. Here they are. Why does this one's annual fuel production, why is it only 11.8? And why is this one's 11.2? Does it have a different... Anka Bogdanova. Survey production diplomacy. Okay. And oh no, wait, I misread that. Okay, so Olivia Watts versus Christopher Carey. They're both lieutenant commanders. Okay, Olivia Watts versus Christopher Carey. Olivia Watts. Christopher Carey. Yeah, I think the mining, because if you look at the ship design, a standard Iota Pegasi fuel harvesting base has a base fuel harvesting, has 200 modules, which with my current tech level is supposed to give me like 11 million per year. This one's getting a slight bonus, but then this one's getting a much bigger bonus because she has a bigger bonus. So the commander is having a huge impact there. They're at the same body. And as far as I can tell, the attribute that would matter here, if we go again, Olivia Watts has survey, reaction, fighter operation, but 25% to mining. Whereas Christopher Carey only has 5% to mining. And that, like, mathematically that lines up, right? 11 million to 14 million, that roughly is a 25% bonus, right? Who else is good at mining? you, I don't know why you're assigned to the Pluto, but we're going to assign you, and we're going to change things in just a second here, but we're going to assign you to the Pegasi 1. Of course, they get warped there sort of instantly. There you go. Now field production is 14 million. Okay, so actually what we're going to do, let's see if we can, I think there's a way we can also fix this in the future. So fuel harvesting bases. Miscellaneous. Let's give them like a higher commander priority. And actually, let's also, I mean, let's have these guys have a pretty high commander priority. So the cruisers can have 5, 5. We're still going to prioritize our military ships. But let's make sure, and the surveyors, right? We want them to go faster. And then let's make sure that the terraformers get nice boosts, and so do the fuel harvesting bases. Good. Okay, fixed. Now, let's go back. Let's bring the big tugs back home. Oh, and actually, let's... They're so fast, the big tugs. I love them. Okay, we need to have a tanker, and I've got just the one in mind. There was a tanker down there. I think it was Kappa 3. Yeah, he's in the Yaren system. Okay, so we're going to rename this fleet. First of all, are you an Ion? No, you're an old tanker. All right, we're not going to use you. You should go back home then. And we'll refit you and stuff. So let's take another tanker. How about, yeah, the Kappa 4. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to rename this fleet Fuel Run. And your job is to go to the El Ayun system. Oh, we're actually going to merge. Hang on. Let's merge this into this. Let's rename this. Just fuel harvesting bases, just so it's easier to pick out. Okay, now we were saying fuel run. Go there, then go to fuel harvesting bases, refuel from stationary tankers, then head back to Sol, Earth, transfer fuel to colony, cycle those moves. Okay, meanwhile, we finished upgrading some of these freighters that I was building. Just going to queue up a few more. I'm just going to wait for, the first deliveries of fuel back to Earth before we restart this commercial economy, the civilian economy here, because we've only got 1 million liters of fuel here to play with. Okay, we stabilized something out here. I think, yeah, we stabilized Manila. Let's go and stabilize Majuro. Aha, the terraforming at Luna is close to done. We just need hydrosphere. Excellent. We just need a bit more water. Okay, we finished a gravitational survey out here with the Aldebaran 5. Let's go and take a look. In the same neck of the woods, we stabilized this jump point. Why don't we head back and stabilize this. All right, that old tanker that was down in the west arm has been refit, so has gotten to Earth. So let's refit it now from Kappa. There we go. We've discovered this new system, the Bujumbura system. Looks mostly empty. Oh, there's a few bodies of interest. The Aldebaran 7 can't really do a geosurvey in Banjul. Why is that? Because it's done its job. There is only one planet with... oh. Well, this is a really nice... I mean, this would be a tiny planet. Unfortunately, it's tidally locked. So even if we terraform it, even if we bring the temperature down, the population, the maximum population would be pretty small. But it's still worth colonizing. Look at this mineral accessibility. Very nice. Now, anything else in the system? No. Still worth colonizing, though. Okay, why don't you head through one of these jump gates? Jump points, I should say. All right, we discovered the Malabo system. This looks interesting. So we've got a binary here at least. So we've got Malabo B orbiting Malabo A. It's a trinary, and Malabo C is also orbiting Malabo A. Now, both appear to have a number of bodies. Looks like Malabo C is the smaller, well, it's orbiting A closer, whereas Malabo B is way out there. Now, if we're lucky, so this whole distance is 20 billion. It's pretty far, but we might be able to stabilize this with Lagrange points later on. Let's do a geological survey here of this inner group of planets, and we'll see what we find. All right. Two nice gas giants. A moon with small amounts but high accessibility of minerals, but that's it. However, these gas giants, we're almost certain to be able to stabilize the Lagrange point. I'm kind of tempted. The fuel maintenance is... Let's do the grav survey. We can come back with a fresh ship and go survey the outer reaches there. Okay, in terms of logistics, we got underway refueling. I want to get a couple of these. I want to get this might improve the refueling speed. I don't know if I have to refit the ships to have this better system, or if it increases it. It'll at least increase the tech on the spaceport. I don't know if it does the same thing on the the fuel harvesting bases. That'll be interesting. Okay, we have built the first two Beetlejuice class escort battle cruisers. So they are going to join the fleet in training exercises, which is cool. Oh, we need to make some missiles. We kind of forgot about that. Do we have ordnance factories, or did I delete all my ordnance factories at the beginning of the game? No, we have a couple of ordnance factories. So let's also not forget to make some missiles. We refit more of the Polaris, and then we're going to refit the last batch. Okay, we've increased our fuel production tech. Let's, while we're in the mood here, I know we've got some pressing military concerns, but let's get some terraforming speed upgrades. I just got a message I wanted to read again. All right, never mind. Okay, research rate research. That was pretty fast. Let's just... Oh, because this bonus is crazy on this researcher. Orders not possible in the Ankara system. This is the Aldebaran 6. By the way, how's the Aldebaran 2 doing? Oh, it's in overhaul. We need to... repair the Aldebaran 2. Okay, meanwhile, Aldebaran 6. What are you up to? Pretty fresh. Okay, let's take a look at the Aldebaran 6 system. Sorry, the Ankara system. So I think it just did a geo survey, and it really only surveyed the interior of the system, because the outer system here doesn't seem worth surveying. It's just a bunch of asteroids. However, let's take a look at what we have in here. Terrestrial with Saurium and Gallicite mostly. Or Venusian. Another Venusian. A nice gas giant. Another terrestrial. Halfway decent deposits. Another terrestrial, okay. Super Jovian with some nice moons. All right, this is actually has a lot of potential. Decent high accessibility minerals here. We could definitely make this work. Now, I don't think, I mean, 50 billion with like one or two like tiers of engine tech higher, this suddenly becomes a kind of reachable, and we could even consider asteroid mining. But honestly, just the inner system here is seems pretty attractive. Now we've already got a Lagrange point in here, and we might be able to stabilize a Lagrange point out there. Now, what kind of planets do we have there? 3 terrestrials. Oh, but a very large diameter planet with decent gravity. So we'll definitely be able to stabilize this this jump point. So this could definitely become. There's potential here in Ankara. So let's scout the jump point then. All right. And I've built 2 new survey ships. Now, we kind of need to rename all of these guys, because now we have the old ones and the new ones are kind of all sharing the same name. So what we're going to do is ships in class, the 1, 3, 5. What happened to the... Oh, the 2 and the 4 haven't yet been refit. Gotcha. Wait, where's the 4 then? Oh, we lost the 4. The 4 is the one that blew up to the aliens. Right. Okay, once the 2 is refit, then we'll do the renaming. So where are we going to send these guys? I think Colombo makes sense for one of these. You know what I want to do? Let's see if we can work with the standing orders here. For example, move to system requiring grav survey. Right? Let's just do grav surveys automatically. And now what we're gonna do is, if your fuel is less than 40%, refuel from calling your hub. I don't know if it knows. I'm curious to see what it's gonna do. So let's try this now, and let's try supply points. I want to just try these orders and see how things evolve. And we'll do geosurvey, 5 sextant bodies, and we'll do the same thing here. I'm very curious to see if this will work out. And then supply points. Let's just see what happens. Okay, we're off to a great start. We didn't have enough fuel because we're out of fuel on Earth, so we just went to refuel on Earth, which barely got us over 40%. So that ship isn't going to make it far. That's actually correct, but funny. The Aldebaran 2 was repaired, which means we could probably now start refitting it. So let's do that. Good. The North Star one here has been stabilizing things for a while, but we've stabilized that branch well enough. I think I want to go to the east. Yeah, let's stabilize to Malibu. Let's go to Banjul. Okay, we have produced a third fuel harvesting base. Now let's see where we're going to put it. Let's take a look here at Sorium, at least 1, and let's say at least 0.8 accessibility. All right, Malibu, Majuro, Ankara, Malibu again, Ankara, Colombo, Ankara, Budapest, Georgetown. This is a solid mine. Colombo. Where is El Ayun on this list? Is it Sorium only at 0.7? Yeah, that's why. Okay. So right now, this is where we have both of our fuel harvesting bases. It's not the best accessibility, but it is close to our core. Now, Georgetown has high accessibility, but this is Sorium. This needs to be mined on the ground. So, in terms of distance, what is most reasonable? So we got options in Ankara, in Colombo, in Malibu. They're all about 15, 16 billion kilometers away. Majuro also. Budapest. Taipei. Budapest is 14, but that one I think is solid, right? Yeah, this is solid. All right, let's take a look at Ankara. This is solid, but this is a gas giant, and it's 1.0 accessibility. So if we're going to be 15 billion kilometers, let's at least have high accessibility. So Ankara A9. Now this is probably a little far away from the star. Let's take a look. Oh, we're already there. I mean, what? It's like 8 billion away. We could stabilize some of these gem points. Some of these Lagrange points, I mean. But that is adding a long travel time. Oh, we could do no better. We could do Ankara 6. It has just as much accessibility, and we'll exploit that one. And then when it runs out of fuel, because it's only got 500,000, but still. Okay, let's do that. So, big tugs. We just need one of you. Movement orders. Space stations. Apparently we have 2 fuel harvesting bases. Guys, I did not realize that. I thought we only had 1. This makes me very happy. I forgot that I had built another. So, perfect. We'll take the pair of big tugs. This makes me very happy. Not battle fleet. Space station. Go to Ankara and release the tractored ships at Ankara 6. Good. Now, in the meantime, on Earth, we're going to get a few more fuel refineries, which are sorely needed. Oh, and we also built 2 new mega tugs. This is good because the terraformers here on the moon are almost done, and we're going to need to move the terraforming bases. So that's fine. Got a new lab. Okay, the GCS-1, another GCS-3, the North Star 3. Why don't you head back to Ankara, and we're going to have you stabilize some Lagrange points in that system. Okay, interesting. So I got the following message. Let me bring it up on screen. Order's not possible. The Aldebaran Ion 1 is unable to carry out its standing order. Move to system requiring grav survey. There's no suitable system. That seems wrong. It's in Colombo. I think it's just because it's finished the grav survey of the Colombo system. That's weird. There's more to survey here. And then, like, Palantir is a system that needs... Maybe there's a range limit on that command, too. Alright, first of all, let's see if it interrupts the game or if it lets us keep playing. So this is 6 February. No, it lets us go on. Interesting. Okay, terraforming rate has increased a little bit. We need... Okay, we need a few things. Honestly, long term, we need to also have some other military assets being designed. Oh, sorry for the mic bump. Which include... Oh, yes. I wanted to make that ground-based STO. Let's design that unit real quick. And apparently we can put a spinal weapon and an STO, so let's do that, because that sounds cool. This is not a PD weapon. This is definitely a shoot down the ships weapon. Okay. And let's just research those real quick. Meanwhile, let's design a missile. This is going to be not a size 1 missile, but a sort of regular size missile designed to do damage. So let's aim for, I don't know, let's start at size 5 roughly. See what it would look like. So let's have an engine about half the size. 2.5. Now we want like 2.25 MSP. Alright, this has no agility. Gives us a size 5 that can hit things. First of all, the range is only 10 million kilometers, so this is not really good. What if we made a big old missile? Like something that, like a short range missile, but like still 20 million kilometers. Excuse me, I couldn't get to the mute button on time. Like something kind of like this. All right, let's see. I want to hit things roughly in the 10K to the 5K to 10K range. So what's the difference between 0 agility and 0.25 agility? Not much, but for fun. Okay, so if we start to add a lot of agility, it really makes a difference in the hit chance here, even though we're losing speed. So we need to balance out. Now this, here we're losing, you know, cost effectiveness, but somewhere around 2 agility for this size of missile is where we want to be at. So okay, so 5 and 10 doesn't quite work as a size. We could go more, I think we have to go more like 6 and 12. What if we went down to 6? So what if we did like 1 agility, 2.25, size 3 engine, no, it's not, doesn't give us enough fuel. Obviously we'd 0.5, 0.2, 0.3. Okay, we can have a size 6 missile. Oh, we don't have a second. We don't want a second. Okay, there's none. Okay, so we could do like size 6, 9 damage, 20 million kilometer range, with about a 30 to 60% chance to hit, depending on the speed. If we up it to a 16 damage warhead, we could do like a size 6 engine. I kind of like this better. So here we have a size 12 missile, same speed, but more agility. So this one has a higher chance to hit, 75%. Remember, before it was 60-30, now we're at 75-37.5, doing 16 damage. So more penetration. Yeah, these are some pretty nice high quality missiles. Given my current tech level. Okay, I like this. So apparently, yeah, we had a Chehalis as an AMM. This is going to be a Chilan ASM. Sure, why not? Let's do that. Now let's also design a missile launcher. Size 12. Not a box launcher, but here we could get it down to, so by default it would be a 600 ton per missile tube, but we can get that down to 180 tons per missile tube. We can get roughly 3 times as many. Of course, the volleys go way down, but the idea is you have to overwhelm their PD. Like if you You need to have large volleys that go through their PD, and then as long as you can shoot down their missiles with your PD, then you're fine. So we're going to do that. We're also going to need a missile fire control. That can see, well, I want, because they might have jamming, let's actually have the ability to shoot out to like 50 million kilometers, even though our missiles can only shoot at 20 million kilometers. Or we do 45 just to have a nice, the sensor size be a nice even 25 tons. So let's do that. And I might decide to have their own search sensors. We might decide to have that. These are not too big. I'm gonna research it and we'll see if we need it. We'll queue it up when we have some free labs. Okay. All right, we've made it to the Ankara system with our stabilization ship. We've actually already got a Lagrange point around A6. Are any of the inner planets here massive enough? Oh yeah, A1 and A3 for sure. Let's get started on those. Okay, on the Sol system, we had some freighters that were moving infrastructure out somewhere from Mars. They were going to the Jovian moons. And these guys need to be refit anyways, so you guys are done, because there's no more infrastructure left now. So we can unload the last piece of infrastructure you picked up. And then you're going to head back to Earth. We've discovered a new system, the Panama City system, which is the next one after Ankara. Now, looks pretty busy in there. Oop. Not a very large system, so everything here is quite accessible. A lot of different bodies. Okay, let's, yeah, it's already, Aldebaran 6 is already starting its geo survey. I'm very curious to see what we will find. All right, that missile fire control. And let's also queue up that active fire control. Good. Okay, we've received some fuel deliveries, so we've got some fuel back on Earth. And I've got, every turn I've got all these warnings about low fuel, as you can see. So I do want to start just refueling some of these ships, even though we're not going to start active deliveries quite yet. Oh, interesting. Hang on a minute. So, okay, so wait, we have a different priority here. So the big tugs, not these guys, the other big tugs. Oh, these guys just have no fuel. Right, but they don't have a job yet, so no, let's keep the fuel on the planet because we're gonna need the big tugs to refuel when we need to use them shortly. So yeah, let's just keep things. Well, let's actually refuel them right now. So let's detach this fleet. You know what? I'm gonna start organizing. Let's reorganize this. Okay, so we're gonna have our survey ships in one subcommand. It is time to organize things like a proper navy. Okay. So now we can kind of minimize that and look at it when we need it. We also don't need survey fleet really as a standalone fleet. It's always been empty. So that is done. Now I want to have, we're going to create another command here, which we're going to call stationary assets and tugs. So these are going to be all of the terraformers, like all the space stations, basically. And then the fuel harvesting bases. And the tugs. And the big tugs. And this guy here too, and we're actually going to rename this one Big Tugs 2. Okay, now Let's put the tankers in their own command. This guy's technically a tanker now. Fuel Run is also a tanker. Okay. Now we're going to create another command. This is going to be cargo and colony logistics, and all of the cargo and logistics are all going to go in there. And you know what? Are you guys orbiting Earth? Yep. So you can accommodate these new colony ships. Cargo West is at Elayun. Cargo Special is at Georgetown. Jovians are heading back to Earth soon. And Cargo Georgetown is also out there. So we're gonna. This is actually gonna be like Cargo East, I think. Just gonna rename that to Cargo East. Not that you're going to do much for now, but at least we're better organized. And then jump stabilization. Good, much better. Now we don't have like a huge list hiding everything. They do. The subfleets do get bonuses, so I can assign somebody, but the bonus only gets propagated as far as the like HQ range goes, right? So the naval, so like right now. So what I could do is I could assign a logistics, which is what we're going to do right now. We're going to go get like a logistics commander here. Rear Admiral Alina Ozerova is going to take command of cargo and colony logistics. Now, this is only going to give a bonus in the Sol system. If I were to put more Navy HQs in Sol, I could spread that elsewhere, but at least it'll give a bit of a bonus in the Sol system. But that's good enough for now. So let's actually just get more construction of freighters. We built a bunch of... we built our first batch of anti-missile missiles. That was using up a lot of our fuel, so we're going to chill out on production of that just for a moment. We have enough now at least to resupply our actual Beetlejuice battle cruisers. Okay, we refit the Aldebaran 2 is refit. Still needs a bit of maintenance, but now that means that we no longer have any Aldebaran, the old Aldebarans in service. So everybody is all upgraded. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename all and renumber all, which actually preserves. It's done smartly, which is nice. Oh, except it put the 4 and the 5. Okay, well, look, it was almost okay, guys, because we lost one ship, so. Is there like a rename all fleets? No, and I'm not gonna. All right, look, it's gonna be awkward, and we're just gonna. I don't wanna. I don't wanna do this. But I will. This is the 008. This is the 007. It's actually not so bad. This is the 006. This is the 005. This is the 004. And this is the 009. All right, that wasn't so painful. Good, and in fact, let's build 3 more. Immediately, this fleet complained, but it's still in overhaul, so chill out. Or wait, it should finish its overhaul. It didn't for some reason. I guess it's good enough to go. All right, and let's keep experimenting with these standing orders here. So let's do more I don't know, grab surveys. Fuel less than 40. Oh no, actually, this is what you need: overhaul a colony. That's what the order should have been. Well, look, we'll see how things evolve. Okay. Well, one of you said, I hope it's not taken already. Of course, Steve said that. Apparently, it is taken. So this is the Panama system. And there are aliens here. And they do not like us. Oh shit, these are the same aliens. These are the Endogeminous system aliens. They're also in Panama. Oh no, they're so this kind of wraps around somehow. Guys, bad news. All right, so we have to reconfigure our map here. So these two systems are close to one another. All right, so we need to do some map redrawing here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have oh, I thought I could. Yeah, we can do it this way. All right, whatever. I know. All right, look, guys, we're figuring this out. The UI is a little funky here. All right, let's get these systems over here. Canberra over here. Let's get these guys over here. This over here. All right, so let's do that as a swapperoo, and then we can just do this down here, this up here, and we're basically good to go, right? All right, let's just redo the grid a little bit. There, rearrange the galaxy a little bit. Hey, Last Pretender. Good to see you. Yeah, I know. Okay, we fixed the grid. Yeah, we're definitely not welcome in that system. Okay, this is bad in the sense that we were planning on using this as a refueling system, and now that's not a good idea anymore. So we are going to redirect these tugs, and we gotta move somewhere else. All right, what were our sorium options here? So we were gonna go to Ankara here. Joaquin Tobias, and that is a good point. I'm gonna check on one of the. Yeah, that is an excellent idea. Well, I'm gonna try in two different ways, and we'll see which one works. But that actually totally makes sense. All right, I think we're gonna have to go to Colombo. Good thing the tugs are still here. So scrap these orders. We're going to go up to Colombo. Oh, we can't go to Colombo because it's not stabilized yet. So you are... we got a idle ship back here. So you're going to go... We got this, guys. Port Louis, I think. Colombo, stabilize. Transit. Stabilize. Okay. The tugs can just go to here and also move here, and then we'll just chill there for a bit. You can just stop doing that and head back, I guess, to Georgetown for now. Okay, so that's been handled. Now let's take a look at the alien intelligence. All right, so this is like a smaller colony of theirs here. We don't really have any ELINT or anything like that. Okay. However, we also researched new sensors. Oh, and we were going to queue something up, I think. Wasn't there another project that we had just wrapped up? Oh, we have commercial damage control. I didn't even know that was a thing. I think there was another project. That we were thinking about. No, I think we finished it. Yeah, it gives intelligence on calling. I think also on ships. I don't remember exactly. You know what? Why don't we let's start researching some of these basic electronic warfare capabilities. And let's upgrade this ELINT. Our ELINT capabilities. Now we're still designing the missile, but we should be able now to design the ship. So let's have, this is going to be like a missile cruiser. The Cassiopeia class missile cruiser. Okay, so this ship needs, we need some engines. We could do 3 of the big engines or 6 of the smaller engines. I'm thinking 6 of the smaller engines. Because that It's worse for fuel efficiency, but it's better for maintenance life. Okay, we might have a bit of armor here. Now, we are certainly going to have some... I should rename these components because it's hard to tell them apart. Okay, so this is a long-range missile active search. This is short-range missile active search. This is medium range ship active search. Long range and this is short range ship. Much better. All right. Okay, so this vessel might use this, although we might take it out. And we're definitely going to... Okay, we don't need cargo holds. Don't need this. We might have an XO on the ship. I'd like to fit a damage control. Oh, you know what? I bet you I forgot to put a damage control on the jump battle cruiser. Yeah, I did. We might Space Master edit that in after. Oops, we forgot about that. Okay, anyways, missile cruiser. We put the engines. We'll need a ton of engineering. So let's just get some of that in there. We're gonna need some fuel for now. On this size, they should probably just be regular fuel storage. Something like that. Okay. There's our missile fire controls. Let's get... How big are these? Only 100 tons. Let's get 2 for redundancy. All right, this is what we really need, is missile launchers. Let's aim for 10. We'll need magazines. Need more fuel storage to get us back. You know what? I've changed my mind about the fuel storage. We're going to go with large. Deployment time, 30. So the issue here is, do I bother giving it any kind of, like, maybe do we add some missiles to this ship, right? Do we diversify its role a little bit? The problem with that is that I don't want to bother putting a missile search sensor on it because they take a lot of space. They're very big. Like it takes a lot of space to detect missiles at range. 600 tons. But I mean, we could just add but they could fire in coordination with, with the Betelgeuse, with the, with the escort cruisers, which have the sensors. Alternatively, we just put more missiles, and that's kind of what I want to do, guys. Let's just shoot more missiles. Now, this is not a large capacity, so let's see. All right, if we had 12 size 12 missile launchers, and we have 364, so 164 size magazine. Two magazines is enough to. All right. 2 magazines is going to be 144. No, it's going to be 128. It's not even enough. Let's pause this for a moment and let's research the missile, and we'll put things. We'll optimize this a little bit more, but this is roughly what the ship is going to look like. The shipyard isn't even ready yet, so there's no rush. Okay. I'm looking through this update here, and I think we're ready to go to the next turn. Oh, the other thing actually I want to do is I do want to take. We're going to have the Aldebaran 2, and you're actually going to. We can't afford to do this. We're going to go and picket the Panama City jump gate. Okay. Oh, and we actually did finish the research into that missile right now. Which means we could just take a look at the logistics here. Not the logistics, but if we do ordnance, and if we fill this up with this missile, yeah, at most, this is like 3 volleys, right? Because if we have 12 launchers, we have the, I'd like to have 4 volleys. I'd like to have like a mission. I'd like to be able to shoot a bit more than that. So, hang on. Let's get another magazine in here. This is not bad, right? So 36 would give me 3 more shots. So we'd have 4 shots total. It's not a lot of shots, but the idea here is to go in, launch and and get out. And maybe we have some collier nearby, and like this is just a well put together design. How about we get a small engineering space? Let's do the fine tuning here. Small engineering. The fuel is just about right. How much is another magazine? Like, how big are these magazines? Hang on. No, they're too big. I can't really put another one. We can't fit another one. Okay, let's, I guess, you know what, let's get the engineering space and we'll cut back on the fuel by one tiny amount. Tiny, nope, I'll go fighters. There. Extra maintenance life is not a bad thing. Things won't break as often. We've got a good enough range. We've got redundant missile fire controls. We have an active sensor so we can see stuff independently of other ships. Okay, this is like a reasonable ship. Now, we don't actually have a shipyard to build it. That's coming. This is the shipyard that will build it. Meanwhile, we're building fuel refineries. Excellent. Okay, good. Yeah, Joe Helen, that's exactly what my doctrine is. So we have a command cruiser, which is technically it's a jump battle cruiser, but it has the big sensor, which it has a long range ship sensor. These like the long range sensors take a lot of tonnage, but the medium range sensors don't really. Like this medium range sensor is pretty small. If you look here, medium range sensor, the size is only 2 hull size. So I'm happy to spend like 2 hull size on just redundant sensing capability. Question about missile behavior. Can you, once you lock onto a target and launch missiles, then leave targeting range and have the missiles continue to track? Good question. I don't think so. I remember, I'd have to go back because I was playing, and I might have recorded this. I was playing a campaign previously where I was dealing with this. I believe you have to maintain target lock. Like you have to paint them continuously. Now hang on. Because a missile. I'd have to double check. Ask in the Discord real quick. I'm not 100% sure. We refit the last of our Polaris vessels. So we have 12 updated ion drive Polaris frigates, and we can now start building new ones. Before we do that, let's rename them. Good. And now, when we build the new ships, that's awkward. Shipyards. It's whatever. We'll rename them after. Not such a big deal right now. Okay, let me double check terraforming on Luna here. Oxygen's good. Okay, water vapor was apparently just being added without limit. We've got more than enough water here, so we are done. We are done. This will precipitate. This is enough. Okay, it will be... Luna's terraformed. The water needs to precipitate out of the atmosphere. So that means we can move these terraformers somewhere else. Now the question is, do we keep them in Sol and start to work on the Jovian moons? Like Callisto or Europa. Now Callisto has Sorium. Europa has other stuff. By the way, what's the mineral situation on Earth? Yeah, we need Sorium, but we have colonies here. This is Duranium. Oh, we had this for Corundium. We have a Sorium colony here. We're terraforming this, right? Question mark? Terraforming annual... Yeah, we're making this... Oh. Yeah, we're just working on terraforming this. We gotta warm this place up. Because this could be a source of Sorium. Now, meanwhile, how's Elayun doing on its terraforming? Because this colony needs to grow. And it needs to grow... Oh, that's... awkward. It almost has a spaceport, but not quite. Let me just check quickly that all the cargoes... You should have stopped. You should just be at Earth. Cargo special, cargo west. Okay, they're all paused, which is correct. Alright, let me just make sure. These are old, but the west are upgraded. Okay, so I just noticed something, which is I need to send one last batch of spaceport components to Elayun. So let me just double check. I need to know the size of the spaceport. Just a second. Spaceport. Okay, there you go. The 80 factories. How big is a factory? Oh, wait. I could just look this up in the game. Right? No, apparently not. Okay. One construction factory is 25,000 tons when you need to move it. These cargo ships hold one cargo factory. Basically. That's why I make them this size. I knew there was a method to my madness here. One spaceport is 80 construction factories in size. On El Ayun, we have 0.9875 of a spaceport, which means we are missing one like cargo construction factory sized component to be brought over, because this is 1/80th, right? It has to be 1/80th, right? That's so close to 1/100th, so that is 1/80th. So that means we are gonna take Cargo West. Okay, first of all, Cargo. So Cargo Special, we're going to detach one of you. And this is going to be... Cargo Special is a terrible name. This is going to be Cargo Spaceports. The one. You apparently were in Georgetown. Okay. Do we have fuel at Georgetown? We do. Actually, let's make use of that. So first of all, priority to this guy. Oh, interesting. He detached, but he detached to... Oh no, he's here. Cargo Spaceports. Okay, first of all, you're going to refuel. Then you're going to go to Seoul. Then you're going to refuel at Earth. Then you're going to load a spaceport component thing. And then you're going to go to El Ayun and you're going to unload. Not cycle, that's just what you're going to do. Then, so you stop complaining, the rest of you guys are also going to refuel. Then you guys are also going to refuel. Now, are you guys ion class? Yeah, you're ion class. Okay. Good. Excuse me a moment as I sneeze. All right, the urge to sneeze passed. So if the missile has its onboard sensors, then it can reacquire a target once it if it loses target lock. That is true. It cannot re... I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure each missile needs to have its own target lock. But that's interesting because if missiles had area, it's just an active sensor, so it would technically might be able to paint for nearby missiles. But that's weird. You'd have to have like mixed volleys. That's weird. I think what Mr. Monix is saying is correct. That is that they auto-destruct on target loss. Give me a second. I need to check a message here. Okay, we gotta close some of these windows here. We're going because they don't close automatically. Okay, events. So we build. We queued these up. Yep, checking our shipyard queues. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and queue up 2 more big tugs and some more tankers, even though the fuel capacity is strained, because we need to have that tug infrastructure as we build more of these ships. Okay, we refueled the cargo ships in orbit of Georgetown, and we still have plenty of fuel reserves on Georgetown. Now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the big tugs, which is in stationary assets, big tugs 2, orbiting Sol, and let's have you refuel on Earth. Let's take a look at Survey Command here. Just take a look at these ships, and so you're picketed. Your maintenance is still okay. You're going to picket. Your maintenance will be fine. Let's take a look here. Maintenance. Oh, but you have no orders. You're just chilling around Earth for no reason. Aldebaran 3. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to click that. Let's remember to give you orders. Aldebaran 4. You're doing a grav survey. You don't have any standing orders, but let's take the opportunity to... Well, you can finish your grav survey over here. Aldebaran 6. Your maintenance is getting a little high, but you're going to finish this grav survey here. We'll give you orders later. Aldebaran 7 is ready to go somewhere. So let's do the standing order thing. So let's do it this way. Move to system requiring grav survey. Fuel, refuel, and then overhaul. I think you are right about these orders being a little funky. Just going to remove and let it reissue its orders. I think this is the better way of doing things. Okay. Now the survey ships are not the ideal picket ships, but they are ships, and we needed just bodies to be there. The actual battle fleet is fairly well trained. Some of the original Polaris ships are well trained, and we could use some of these frigates, and we could picket with them. They only have a 2.5 year maintenance life, but we could kind of cycle them out. The issue is their range, right? They're based on Earth. They're based at Sol. Yeah, they can't make it without a refuel, so that's why we'll stick to the Aldebaran classes as our pickets for now. Okay, we got a message that Aldebaran 7 was unable to do its default, but I think this is what we want. Then it got orders. Yeah, okay. I think this is doing things correctly. Okay, Big Tugs 2, the sequel. Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to drag. Big Tugs 2 sequel has almost refueled at Earth, so Earth didn't quite have enough fuel. That's what I was. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's why I didn't quite want to refuel. What kind of fuel do we have in our tankers? Okay, this tanker's at Earth, but it's empty. You're still doing your job, so good job. You're about to dump fuel on Earth, so that's good. Okay, Kappa 1, you probably should transfer fuel to colony. Kappa 2 has a bit of fuel, so you should also transfer your fuel to the colony. Kappa 3, you're full for some reason. Drop that off at the colony. Now you're basically empty, and so are you. Okay, so we have kind of stabilized in the fuel situation. So I do want to restart the Cargo West's fuel deliveries, except these are the old school freighters, so these need to be refit. So we're going to... Cargo Specials is in Georgetown. Cargo East isn't doing anything, but these are all new ships, right? Yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do actually is we're going to rename... I'm going to swap these. This is going to be the new Cargo West. This is going to be the new Cargo East. And Cargo West. We're just going to wait one construction interval, because we're unloading fuel now from these tankers, so Earth's fuel should start. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're going to do one last order here. We're going to have the colony ships they're going to resume their thing, but they're going to refuel from colony. They're going to go pick up people on Mars, because there are people there. And then we're going to go to Elayun and drop off the people auto route back to Earth and cycle. Then actually, let's put in move to location because it'll use the jump point. Then let's have the new cargo west do roughly the same thing, but what you're going to do is you're going to do infrastructure, and the infrastructure is going to come from Luna because Luna is basically now terraformed. As soon as the water drops out of as soon as this water vapor precipitates out, which will happen just gradually over time. But there's an excess of infrastructure now, so we can afford it to take the infrastructure from Luna. So Cargo West, you're going to do Earth, refuel. Then Luna, load infrastructure. Head out to Elayun, unload all installations. Head back to Sol, move back to Earth, cycle. Okay. And now I'm getting out in the Elayun system. For some reason, is where Cargo East is. Oh, which was a former okay. Gotcha. Okay, well, what you're going to do is you can go and refuel, not refuel on the colony, but at the fuel harvesting bases, you can refuel from the stationary tankers. And then we'll have you guys head back to the Sol system and move to Earth. And these guys are going to get refit in a moment. Okay, we got an interesting message. As per standing orders, Aldebaran 9 is moving to refuel, and what I want to check in survey command is where is Aldebaran 9? It was not in Georgetown, which is fantastic. Okay, so they will automatically go path to the nearest colony or whatever place that has fuel and refuel from there. That is awesome. Now, does Georgetown have a Georgetown doesn't have a spaceport yet. So how's it going to refuel there? Yeah, there's no refueling capabilities. So that's a problem. I'm actually curious. Let's let it play out. Let's see what happens. Let's move this to. Let's take a look here. I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, the JCS is back in town because it was previously going to go stabilize stuff in Ankara, but we don't want that anymore. If you can get to Colombo first, this is like a priority, so let's do that. Okay, so the Aldebaran 9 was able to refuel somehow, even though there's no refueling capability at the colony. That might be a bug that might be known in this version of the game. Look, we'll just let it slide for now. I mean, we are working on getting the spaceport up there, so. Okay, Aldebaran 9's still doing stuff. So let's see. What, by the way, its default orders are geosurvey, and it couldn't do anything in the system it's at, so it's going to go to another. Look, it's doing stuff. Let's let it do stuff. Okay, our research into ELINT systems is going along. I kind of like the idea of maybe coming up with a newer, different version of the Aldebaran, which is more like a passive sensor ELINT type of vessel. So we're going to improve our just general sensor tech, and we might kind of come up with a refit for that. So let's kind of focus on that as our next research priority. Okay, the tugs have made it to the Colombo jump point, but we still have to wait 109 days to stabilize the jump point, unfortunately. Now, I think we have a second stabilization ship that we gave this order to. Yeah. So what you're going to do is you might as well just stabilize this system instead. And by the way, once you've stabilized it, you can transit and start stabilizing the other side. Okay, Cargo East is back home. We'll do refits in a short while. Okay, Aldebaran 8 finished something, but I think it's on automated, assignments, so it's probably going to head somewhere else. Okay, it's going somewhere. Now, it was in the Colombo system. Which I guess has been surveyed. But I guess we knew that. This place has been surveyed for a while. Maybe it was doing a graph survey. Yeah, it was doing a graph survey here. What's Aldebaran 7 doing then? Oh, it's finishing the graph survey. Okay, I guess things are going as we expect. This was going to become an asteroid mining shipyard, but we don't have enough workers. And in fact, now's a good time to specialize our colonies here. So we need to free up some workers. We can start by moving the financial sector to another colony, for example, Luna. So let's go ahead and civilian administrator who's good at wealth creation, 25%. Imogen Sullivan. And let's get you assigned to Luna. And we're going to take cargo. This will take barely any fuel at all. We can use, instead of Jovian, we should rename this to just the Soul Cargo Fleet. Now, these are ancient cargo ships, but that's fine because we're only going to the moon. So we're going to load installations, not infrastructure, but in fact, it will be financial centers. Go to the moon. And just do that until you can't do it anymore. So that'll take care of that. That'll free up some workers. And, you know, if we do that, I think we will be able to, because I didn't want to tax the workers here. So the amount of workers, let's expand this to 100,000. We're not going to tow. We're going to have asteroid mining ships instead of asteroid mining stations, just for variety. For variety's sake. Okay, we have built the first jump class Antares cruiser. So we now have a functional military detachment. Unfortunately, it's a very green crew, so I think we need to train it to do a bit of training first before we send them out, you know, to patrol our borders. The other thing we need to do is we need to cheat. We need to go and fix this design because I forgot to give it a damage control. So we're going to unlock the design. We need to Space Master mode this. And this will this will change. We don't need to refit anything. This will actually just change the ship as it is built. But this was just a minor omission. We could have just done this differently. Like we noticed this right after we started building the ship, so it doesn't really matter much. So we're gonna have to add one of these, and then we're gonna have to I think we'll reduce, I guess, the fuel by a small amount. There. Just adjust the fuel. Now, this actually brings the fuel capacity a little low, but there honestly isn't really something else that's reasonable to take out here. This kind of brings the whole fuel capacity, look, this is just a compromise we're going to have to make right now, folks. So that's that. Okay, so we'll lock the design again. So the ship has just been edited. This is like a way you can cheat and just change your ships on the fly and they get live updated across the universe. Don't do it unless you make a silly mistake like I just did. Good. So now we'll go back and build the second Antares. Antares, I guess both sound okay to me. And let's get this ship training as part of flight school. How is training going for the Betelgeuse? 10%, okay. Let's actually make sure that we had we assigned a commander training commander a while ago. Yep, still in charge of flight school. Admiral Charlotte Birch is still in command of flight school. Good. We added a slipway to... Oh, good. To our escort battlecruisers. I really do want to ramp up on my military capacity here, so we are going to keep adding slipways and just build ships as fast as we can. In fact, we're going to add slipways even to the Polaris class shipyard. And we're just going to build. Then at some point it'll be a problem and we'll stop building. Okay, we have researched, designed our two STO types of we designed STO elements here. Now, before I go ahead and make a kind of a new formation element that uses them, let's see if there aren't some more ground combat technologies that we would incorporate into that kind of that kind, like what other formations? Because I'm thinking of these STOs as, especially the PD STOs, these are some things we could put on our colonies. But if we're going to forward deploy these ground-based STOs, especially on Elayun, maybe they need to have some better, some better escorts. So, in particular, do we want to have heavy weapons support type elements? Maybe not. But maybe we have powered infantry. Okay, we have finished the delivery of the last spaceport component, which, if we calculated correctly, should mean... Oh, now we have too much. Alright, that's weird. Huh. Now we have a bit more than a spaceport. We've got extra spaceport parts lying around at LAN. I'm not sure how mathematically that could... What's... I mean, I know, but it's... Okay, let's quickly load a spaceport thing. Because, by the way, the max item thing does not work. That is a known thing that it doesn't work yet. I'm just going to load one up. Now we'll know the answer. How did I get 2? Did I have another guy with movement orders to unload? Cargo West is just infrastructure. Cargo East, no. I don't know. You can't specify a fraction, but what you could do... Yeah, but... So you can't do that, but what you can do here is you can, like, if you were to load installations... So it's not that... So you don't load in terms of... it's not loading space ports... Alright, I'm not explaining this clearly. The one spaceport takes like 80 of my cargo ships to move. So if I had if I had a big fleet, I could tell it to load at most. If I had like a fleet of 80 freighters or 100 freighters, I could tell it maximum load 1. I don't know if you could do maximum items like with a fraction. That is a good question. But in this case, 1, like, I'm just not sure how we got above 1. There was some extra bit somewhere. Anyways, look, it doesn't matter. We got... This is what we have what we want now on LAUN. So what we're going to do with these spaceport components is we're going to deliver them to... I guess we might as well refuel while we are here. So we're going to go refuel at the fuel harvesters because we can do that. And then we're going to go to Georgetown. And we're going to drop... Because we still need to get a spaceport at Georgetown. So we're going to unload the installations here. And then we'll kind of calculate from there what we need to do. Mr. Monic says, I suggest a static cap, so crew served anti-personnel, and ATAA with a lot of medium vehicle construction to entrench. And yeah, I was thinking something like that. Well, I was definitely thinking some constructions to entrench, and definitely I wanted some AA. Now, you're suggesting static caps, I guess, because the STOs are going to be static too. So I might as well make the whole thing static. So that's a good idea. Like something like this, I guess, right? Would be like static. Yeah, crew served anti-personnel. Now, can I upgrade? Is there any more tech that I could get here in ground combat? Like, can static elements have heavy armor, for example? That's what I'm wondering. We could do heavy static armor. Yeah, this is what I'd like. Maybe this is what we research. Make them even more heavily armored. Maybe that's what we'll go for. Well, I mean, just because the NPR doesn't use it doesn't mean I don't want to put it in for RP purposes. Like, just because the NPR doesn't do something because it hasn't been coded to do it yet, I'm just going to assume that it might be able to do it. So we are still gonna build that in, build that capacity. Okay, what we're gonna do now with our sensors research is I think we're gonna boost our thermal capacity, our thermal sensors, and I've got a notion here. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna boost like our passives, and then we're gonna do some thermal reduction on our engines. We're gonna try to do some. We're gonna try to build like a cloak. Maybe we'll even do a cloaking system. We're gonna try to put together like a stealth passive sensor ship, just because I think that's cool. So we're gonna work on that technology in the background here. But we're just gonna get better passives first. Okay, we've moved all of the financial centers from Earth. I mean, we're building them on Earth, so they'll be more and more built on Earth. But as they get built, we'll move them to Luna, and we never want to stop building mines and construction factories, because even once we mine out the Earth, we'll move the mines to the other colonies. So that just has to be continuous production. And now, if we look, Luna is actually doing something. I mean, it still needs. So if we look here, summary, financial centers, 270. Okay. Oh, perfect timing. So we made a round of new freighters, but we actually need the shipyards to refit the old freighters. So let's do that. Refit Deneb Ion. Actually, auto refit, sorry. There are only 5 ships there now, but there are others that will come. Anyways, that's good enough for now. I think, yeah, fuel has kind of stabilized now. So we can really make sure that all the cargo fleets are back up and doing what they need to be doing. So is the colony fleet doing stuff? I think it is, yeah. Cargo West is doing stuff, yeah. Special is going to merge with Space, but it's going to help with Spaceports when it comes to Georgetown. They're going to work together. Soul is going to get refit. Cargo Georgetown isn't doing much. We might need its help with the spaceport moving operation, so they can hang out there. Now, Cargo East needs help, so we're gonna have the shipyard, the new ion freighters here join it, because these guys are, yeah, they're modern. They're already refit. So let's have you. Because the Forgotten Colony out east in Lima needs help. So Earth, refuel. And we are going to pick up infrastructure from Luna. And head out to Lima. And then head back. And that's it for the freighters. Okay, we have built 2 more tankers here, which is nice. Now, let's talk a bit about the plan for these shipyards. So we, one type of, I'm building, well, I have queued up 2 more commercial shipyards. One of them is going to be for a maintenance. Actually, I have notes here. Let's bring up the notepad. So let's see what we have done. Okay, so this is, we don't need these notes anymore. We are doing that. We are going to be doing that. Good. We're still finalizing that. This we still need to do. So yeah, so we need 3 new types of civilian ship designs. We need an MSP cargo ship, we need a missile collier, and we need a troop transport. So, oh, actually there's 2, good thing I looked at my notes here. So we need, what I was thinking is, do I need to keep this thing set for tankers, and I think I still do. Because we're just gonna need tankers in the long run. We need a lot of, sometimes like when we deploy our navy, we need to move a ton of fuel around. So we're gonna keep making tankers here for now. But that reminded me that, what did I do with big tugs too? They're still at Earth. I was waiting for more fuel. But we have the fuel now. So we can move the now we can decide where we're going to move the terraformers. The terraformers that were around Luna. Because Luna is basically okay. As the water precipitates out, the hydrosphere should... I say that, it's going to be close. Yeah, but I think it should be enough. Actually, we can count. No, I'm not going to. It'll be fine. Guys, it'll just be fine. But we need to think about where we're going to move the terraformers. And I kind of think I want to double down on Elayun, because this is... Ooh, the temperature's good here now. Well, wouldn't you know? Huh. Okay, we chilled things enough with 0.5 atm of frigid gas. The surface temperature is now only 21 degrees centigrade, which is fantastic. So all we need now is a hydrosphere and some oxygen. Cool. Well, maybe we don't need to move the terraformers here. Okay, let's do the calculations. Hang on, let's go to Elayun. Diameter is 4,000. Let me just look up something quickly on the wiki. The calculation for the water. Okay, each 1% of hydro extent requires 0.05 atm of water vapor. Okay, so it's just built into, the speed is just built into the rate. So the rate at which water vapor is added is proportional to the surface area. But that means I don't have to, I can just put in the number of water vapor that I need, and that should be fine. So 1% is, 0.05 atm of water vapor. So 1 atm of water vapor should get me 20%. Yeah, we just basically need to add 1 atm of water vapor. But the thing is, it's going to start to precipitate. So we don't really need a whole 1%, but we're going to keep an eye on it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go environment, water vapor. We're going to put 1, but let's keep an eye on this. Now, this also means yeah, you're saying I'm going to need a ton of troop transports. Yes, if I do want to conquer. Right now, I'm not quite thinking about conquering an alien world, but we do need to, if only for defensive purposes, and honestly for like realism roleplay purposes, we need to have some kind of ground force. So we're going to slowly start building that up. But to tell you the truth, my navy, my ships are nowhere near, like I'd get crushed if they were to invade me. So we need to ramp up our military in many aspects, not just the ground forces. Okay, what do we terraform next is my question. I want to take a look at... I want to take a look at Empire Mining. That is not as useful as I thought it would be. Okay, let's go to the minerals here and just take a look at... Okay, let's look at Earth first, because that's where all the mining is. So duranium, we still have some. We definitely need to. We always need more duranium, that's for sure. We're out of neutronium and corbamite on Earth. We can basically count mercasium out, sorium out, and uridium as well. And honestly, gallicite's running pretty low. So let's look at all of these in order. So let's say neutronium and corbamite first. So neutronium, and actually let's make this like 0.6. Or, let's just make it 0.4 just to see like where do we have actual, like not awesome, but kind of present deposits. Neutronium. Okay, so in the Sol system itself, we've got some civilian options on some comets. But that is pretty much it. There's Eris, but that's way, way out there. So, nothing in Sol. However, in Georgetown, we have some not great accessibility. Now, this is Georgetown 5. We do not have a colony there. So this mineral exists in the Georgetown system, but we're not really mining it. This is neutronium, by the way. So in terms of our ability to procure neutronium, we could do it in Georgetown, set up another colony here. Now, this colony maybe is worth it for duranium, but we have other duranium sources. And this is only giving us 0.4 accessibility, so not super worth doing. Here we have 0.7 accessibility, but only 152,000 tons. So really, this is not very exciting. So we should be looking at Manila. We should be looking at these deposits here. So, and really, this is bad accessibility. So it's either going to be Taipei, Ankara, or Manila. Now, Ankara is right on the border with... is right on the border here, which we have newly discovered with Panama City. So I'm not crazy about mining there. And then similarly, Manila is an interesting system, but it's kind of strategically in an awkward position, right? Because we have to go through Singapore to get there. So if Singapore becomes a contested territory, then this is a problem. So really, our only safe source of neutronium so Majuro here has pretty bad accessibility. So I'm thinking Taipei, which incidentally is also a source of corbamite. Now this is a low gravity place. I'm thinking we just auto-mine this, right? Instead of setting up a real colony there, so auto-mine that. Now let's take a quick look at corbamite. Majuro Taipei, yeah, I'm not seeing fantastic options here either. This is going to kill two birds with one stone. So let's look at Taipei. Like, what else is there in this system? There's some good mining potential here. Here's our target. Taipei 4, the 28th moon. Okay, and we have a gas trant with thorium. A couple gas trants with thorium. Okay, I think Taipei is going to be definitely where we set up some mining next. Let's go back and look at what else we were missing on Earth. Mercasium. Thorium, we're fine. We have sources in all sorts of places, including in Georgetown. So Mercasium, Uridium, and Gallicite. So let's look at Mercasium first. So right now we have some Mercasium on Eloyun 2. Not high accessibility, but you know, it's there, so it's not an emergency. And we also have okay-ish Mercasium on Lima 1. Now our colony is on Lima 3, but this means that it should be pretty easy to set up some auto mines, or we were planning to colonize this anyways at some point. So we'll move the terraformers there later. So I think in the medium run, Mercasium will be okay. Are we mining? We've got some commercial, some civilians that we could buy from. I think we'll be okay for Mercasium. And there's also another source in Taipei. So this is another reason to go set up shop in Taipei. Okay, we had to look at, I think it was Uridium. Yeah, Uridium and Gallicite. Okay, Uridium. We're going to have a little bit coming in from Lima, which is already colonized. We've got a tiny bit on Europa, actually. And if we're stuck, we can always... There's a comet here in the Sol system that has some. Now, in terms of real long-term deposits, again, Ankara is such a valuable system. We're really going to have to sort of establish our presence there. Now, this is an interesting... So, Palikir is pretty far away, but this looks like a nice planet, easily, like a colony cost of only 2. So this will be nice eventually. However, I would say that... Well, let's see. We could... Georgetown 7. This looks like auto mine potential. Georgetown 8. This is actually probably a better automine planet, just because we get all these other minerals quickly. This looks like a moon. Yeah, long term, uridium is going to have to come from I guess a bunch of automines in Georgetown. This seems like a disappointing planet to dump a bunch of automines on. We have a bunch of yeah, it's going to have to be something like Palikir. But that is way out in the boonies. Like, we are not set up to go, like, that's far. We're not really set up to go and set up shop here. So I guess it's gonna have to be auto mines in Georgetown. Let's take a look at Georgetown more closely. No, we wanted minerals. Okay, I guess that's what it's going to have to be. And finally, Galisite. Again, Ankara. Okay, guys, we really need to... Long term, we definitely need to go to Ankara. Okay. Apparently, Georgetown A... No, in Georgetown, we have a commercial mining colony that's been set up from whom we can buy Galisite. So that's kind of good to know. Elsewhere, we've got a comet here in Georgetown, Taipei again. And some more private interests in Seoul from whom we can buy this. Okay, so it seems to me that what we need to do, we've already got the colony in Lima, which is, a small colony, but it's happening. We are going to start setting up some mining infrastructure in Taipei, and also, a few auto mines, I think, in Georgetown for a few missing minerals. That should hold us over for a while, and honestly, it looks like the Ankara system is just like where it's at in terms of mineral accessibility, although Taipei is quite promising. But it's good that we've already stabilized these jump routes, and also we're, like, Lima being a colony, it's going to help with the logistics. This shouldn't be too hard to set up. Now, in the Taipei system itself, yeah, it's got all these asteroids that we don't really care about, but in the Taipei system itself, where we have the jump point is very close to the inner system. Oh, that's really nice. I guess we could just colonize Taipei 3 and use that as like our central hub in the system. We could slowly terraform it and then just set up auto mines on these other moons, elsewhere in the system, and bring all this stuff into Taipei 3, and then we can export it from there. Okay, that is going to be the plan. Let's create this colony. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create these colonies before I forget. So we wanted this one in particular. Yeah, we've even got some gas giants here. And I think I'm going to peg this one too for its mercassium and gallicite. Okay, so we're creating these colonies. I'm going to add to my notes here. Mining in Taipei. Let's also peg in Georgetown. Okay, Georgetown 4 here, there's a civilian colony setting up. That's okay. This was for the galicites. We can let this grow, and if we need galicite, we can always buy it from them. So that's a fine way to operate. Got tritanium here if we need it. Okay. There's the iridium. This is actually potentially terraformable too. It doesn't need to be auto mines. So given all that, the Jovian moons are not a huge priority. I think it is time that we send the two, and therefore, after all this analysis, it is time to send the terraformers that were on the moon to the east, which means to Lima. Okay, in the North Star 3 has finished stabilizing the jump gate to Colombo, which means our big tugs can finally go into Colombo. And which was the planet? Maybe it's Colombo 5. This seems reasonable. 4 million at 0.8 accessibility. Yeah, probably was that one. That's the one. Colombo 5. Release tractored ships. Let's take a quick look in the Colombo at the geography of that system itself. So the jump point from Paul Louis coming in here, and we're going to station the ships here. So there's definitely value in stabilizing. Let's see, can we stabilize 9 and some of the inner system points? I think for sure. So let's go. Let's take a quick look here. What are the masses like here? We could do 1 and 2 and 5 in the inner system. Let's do 5 first. So Colombo 5, stabilize the Lagrange point. Let's also do 2. And then let's get some of these in the outer system here. Mass. Over there. 11, that is, it might already, 7 I think already has a Lagrange point. We'll double check. And what about, Super Jovian for sure. Oh yeah. 8 I think has one. Okay, 7, 8, 9. 9 might be tricky. Yeah, 8 has it for sure, but 7 we should definitely stabilize. So we'll add the order to stabilize 7 2. Okay. That'll just help when we send freighters in, they'll be able to jump into the inner system faster. And let's quickly, Paul Louis is empty, and Georgetown we know already the geography. Okay, so that's set up. And you know what, guys? This is a good time to wrap up this stream. Gotta go take care of dinner. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for the feedback, for the questions, for the answers. I thought this was going to involve aliens a lot more than it did. But it turns out it's more, empire building, which I'm all about. I'm regretting, I kind of feel like this is always like a temporary Let's Play. I'm just kind of playing the game mechanics, which I don't like. I prefer trying to come up with a story, right? Role-playing it a little bit. But I do kind of want to experience C# a bit more and just get used to the UI, just all the different mechanics here. So, we might introduce a little bit of RP things. I mean, I'm, like we mentioned earlier, like I'm going to build things that make sense to me, that kind of, air quotes, realistic, from a realistic point of view, right? Even though I know that the NPR might not play a certain way, I'm still going to assume that it might because it feels realistic that it might. But, yeah, we're going to keep going with this campaign for a while. I think my main objective, one of the new C# things that we're trying out now is this automated surveying, right, with the orders, and that seems to be working out. I've pretty much figured out the new terraforming system, and I'm happy with how that works. One thing that I want to do is kind of work on like fleet logistics and setting up, like getting a feel for setting up like a logistics hub in a forward position. So that's still something that I'd like to try to figure out. So that I think is going to be one of my objectives for this campaign. And honestly, the other objective is I want to test out this military doctrine against like the bajillion, quadrillion missiles that the NPR is going to shoot at me. So that's going to be fun to see if that works out. And it appears like we're going to have, if we do go to war, well, the aliens decided they're going to go to war with me. So it looks like we might have something on two fronts. So in terms of logistics, that might be a bit of a challenge too. So, anyways, that's how that's what I want to do with the rest of this campaign. And then, depending on when 1.9 comes out or what if there are any big changes, I don't think I'm gonna I'm not feeling any pressure. There's no bug that's stopping me from playing through with this campaign until I meet those objectives. And then I think after, but this is long into the future, but I will start up like a kind of real let's play kind of role play campaign after this one. But I definitely do want to get that experience in dealing with the new ways that you can do logistics and just checking out the balance in terms of the military and how that's going to work out. So those are my goals. Yeah, good point. Mr. Monix says to put a restriction on the alien system or the explorers will die. That is definitely something I will do. Let me add it to the list. I thought about that earlier. I didn't say it out loud, but that is true. So we need to restrict alien system. Yeah, because we don't want the explorers to die. All right, that's going to be it for now. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.